I had to play that clip right there, Heather B.
Tell them why.
Tell them why. Live. That was our guest, Cynthia Erivo, singing at the Kennedy Center Honors in 2023.
Yeah.
And the reason why we played that clip is because Heather B., our good friend, our sister, Suzette Williams, and I were in the crowd when you sang this.
Yes,
we were right there. We stood up and gave it because you had to move. There were statues in that crowd. Initially. And it was like the scene from Wiz when they peeled all the layers off and became free when you sang that note. I want to welcome her to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Grammy, Emmy, Tony Award-winning actress, producer, singer, all-around incredible, talented individual. Cynthia Erivo is here.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Cynthia, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing great. I do this, Tracy G, because she and I had an encounter.
We did, yes.
Right at JFK once. And, and I was, I travel by myself. I'm really kind of low-key. I'm easily approachable, and I was on the phone, and I said, that looks like Cynthia. Is that Cynthia? Because I'm not even sure if we had met in person.
We met in person, but a long time ago. Yeah. Well, you were in New York at one.
Yeah.
When you were in New York, that's how far back.
We met in person, and you came up to me, and you were so warm to me when you approached me, and you didn't have to be. And I looked around. I immediately got into like safety mode because you were I didn't see anybody with you. You were by yourself.
I was. Yeah.
You were by yourself.
I was by myself. Yeah.
So I went into, once I got off the phone, I go into Big Brother mode.
You did.
Right? And so I was like, I got to protect her.
Okay,
right?
Right.
But I appreciated how you moved in public.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a way. I don't know if I can do that now. That was before the film. But I still think there's a way to be, you can still have some of your own, like, privacy. You can still be approachable. You can still be kind when you're moving around. I think it lets people know that, one, you're approachable, and two, everything's fine. We're still human beings.
We're still human beings.
Yeah.
So you don't know this, but when the plane landed, because we were sitting in the same, we were sitting.
It was first class. Go ahead and say it.
First class.
Oh my gosh.
Acting like we ain't know.
To paint the picture.
He's too much, Cynthia.
I just want to make sure they get the details. When I got off the plane, I sat there and waited for like 20 minutes because I wanted to make sure you were safe.
Oh.
But I didn't see you exit the same way I exit.
No.
That's a different exit?
It's a different exit.
Okay, all right.
I told you.
I didn't know you disappeared.
No,
I didn't know.
different exit.
It was a different exit.
Yeah, so when you get, am I supposed, should I don't want to tell the secrets.
No, you ain't got to tell the secret.
But yeah, it's a different exit. It gets me off quickly, and then, because usually I'm going from the plane to something immediately. So that was what's happening.
Okay. I didn't know somebody took you. I didn't know.
I was okay, I promise.
You was okay. Then I went to go.
I made it.
You made it. Okay, and you here.
Yeah.
And I went to see Wicked to make sure it was really you. But I want to welcome you to the show. Give it up for Cynthia Erivo here. And we're here to talk about the new album, I Forgive You. But congratulations. I did go see Wicked.
Thank you.
A friend of mine who's an actress as well, we went to go see it, and we wanted to just go dissect it and look at your just look at the interaction between Ariana and yourself and the whole cast, and what an outstanding film to be a part of. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did your thing, especially when that last note from Defying Gravity. I know everybody talks about it. I've tried to hit it a few times this morning.
Can I hear it?
Wow.
Can I hear it?
Wow.
Cynthia, you are an angel. Go ahead, Sway. You've been practicing all morning.
All right, John, give me a cue, John.
A reference. He needs a reference track.
Sway, that's actually amazing.
Cynthia?
And you were like on the note.
Oh man, Cynthia, we're never gonna be able to sit in a room
No,
with
but
him.
that was on the note. That was in the same, the same octave, same note. That was the same note. I'm actually a little bit amazed. I'm a little bit shocked. I didn't expect that.
Cynthia, it's gonna be impossible to work with him now. Do you understand that?
But he was on the note.
He was terrible all morning long. We've been clowning him and cracking on him and saying, please do not do it in front of her. And I cannot believe this fool actually hit the note in front of you.
He hit the note.
He's been failing all morning. You don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
And now he's going to turn you over there
That's the
crying.
first time that happened?
He fails in front of everybody. You have no idea how much he flunks in front of pressure.
You just needed me to be here. That's it.
Your presence.
You
That's
just needed
it.
me to be here. That's
Wow.
You just
that was
changed my
on the.
life.
You heard that?
I'm so mad. He's getting me impossible to deal with, Cynthia. You don't understand the other side of it when you
But I'm
leave.
not making that up. I'm not making anything up here. I'm
telling
not
the
like.
truth. She knows.
I'm. That you heard. You heard that,
We
no?
all heard it, but you don't understand. It's been 3 hours of him failing. And we can't believe he just hit the note in front of you. That's why we're all shocked. It's like, damn it, we wanted him to fail.
And you know he's gonna run it back every single day until 2025 is a wrap. Let me
you
get ready
kidding
for
me?
it now.
As long as I got a
I want to
job.
hear. Can we run it back? Can we just hear it one?
Oh my
Please.
God.
You should do it again live, Sway.
He can't. He don't have. He don't have two of them, Tracy.
Tracy.
Oh wait, you want to hear you?
Yeah.
Give me a second on that.
Okay.
Work on that.
Okay.
Cynthia Erivo
We'll hear
is
it
here,
later.
man. Yeah, we'll hear it later. How did that note change your life?
I mean, it's so crazy. That's such a great question because nobody's asked that question, but it has completely changed my life. One, because people sing it to me randomly in the street when I'm leaving somewhere. If I'm signing or like I'm talking to people, I will often hear it just as I'm leaving. So someone will do it as I walk away. Yeah. But like, who knew that people would fall in love with that, with that note, with how it's sung? Because it really. At first, I wanted to do it as like the original, and when I did, the MD and the composer were like, "Okay, great. Now, what's your version?" And when that version sort of happened, and it was a natural thing, I just tried something, and that felt really good. That has sort of reverberated. Yeah. I keep hearing it in different places. People keep doing it. There was a challenge on it. I had no idea that it would do that, and that song would do that. That people would. Connect to the song in that way, and I love that people keep trying to do this.
Yeah.
This note, it's kind of wonderful.
That's dope.
I love that, man, and I won't harbor on Wicked, but I did go to see it because of you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see the next installment and then the next installment as well. Yeah. And I learned a lot about Elphaba, right, and in it because I watched this differently than I ever watched it before because of you. And who she was misunderstood. She was framed. She had these gifts, and she eventually, became demonized because of it in a sense. And I was curious too for you. Yeah. Are there any parallels to Elphaba and Cynthia?
Yeah, I think so. I think the idea that someone who is different and gifted can make people scared or be separated from people, ostracized. I really understood what that felt like. That sort of solo nature that she has, that very loneliness that she felt. I understood that implicitly. I knew what that felt like, and I've never felt the same as anyone. I've always felt very odd. It's an interesting feeling, but I've always felt different, odd. And I knew what that felt like. I'm lucky because I've grown enough to sort of enjoy that. But she is in a place where she has to learn to love it. She has to learn to accept that about herself. So I have a deep love for Elphaba because she's sort of like in the middle of learning who she is and getting used to being different and growing her talents and her skills despite what people say. Yeah.
Despite what people say. I think we all kind of have that experience, that odd feeling. I know Heather has been an outlier in her whole career, even in her family, but then you learn.
Oh, well.
That's it. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
But those things become your superpowers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
sense that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because even watching you in that airport, I've been around a long time, Cynthia. I've seen a lot. And I was very smitten by the way by the way you moved, I was very impressed by that.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know that you were happy.
Yeah,
I
am.
You're happy right now?
Yeah, I am.
What
yeah.
did it feel like?
What I feel like? I don't know. It feels like my feet are on the ground. I feel very like in myself. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. I like the work I do. I like the people around me. I like myself. So it's nice.
I love that. It dawned on me when I watched you and Sway hug in the hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, is this only her second time with us in the studio?
Yeah.
Because I realize now. Back in 2019, she came to New York, and Tracy and I sat with you for Harriet.
That's right.
And I remember the excitement.
I wasn't there that
you
day.
wasn't there that day. You were working. You were doing another project, and so Tracy and I had the opportunity to meet you, and we were just like blown away. And so then the next time we saw you, Sway and I saw you at the Kennedy Center, which was in 2023, and then we see you now with everything that's happening. And for me, I'm such a fan of that very thing, like that outline, that being different. I feel like I've watched this beautiful butterfly just come out. I mean, from your style, from the fashion sense. I think you're one of those people now, and I know it can be all very superficial, but I look for you on the red carpet.
Same.
I wait to see what you're going to be
you.
wearing. I think you embrace this strength in it's a feminine way, but it's so strong. Even today, just like casually fly, and then your nails have become a statement as well.
That has amazed me.
Talk to me about that, because I used to own a hair and nail salon, and nails, yes, I did, and nails were a big thing, but I think, Cynthia, what you have done has now taken it to another level. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, it's so interesting because when I've been doing my nails since I was 16. My godmother took me to a nail salon, and it was something that we would do just to sort of connect the two of us, And I'd been doing it for a really long time. I maybe stopped for a little bit because of characters, and it didn't make sense for certain characters. But whenever I'd come out with characters, I'd go and get them done again. And when I started doing film, it was kind of sneered at. It wasn't really like, it wasn't like the fun thing to look. It wasn't
the fly thing.
It wasn't
at
the
all.
fly thing at all. But I was still like, this is part of me. I love doing them. It makes me feel good. It's a lovely moment to just like be with myself and sit and get my nails done. It was something I didn't ever really give up, and I just stuck with it. And somehow it's so interesting how it's like everyone has come towards me now. We're connected. For me, nails are another way of expressing myself. It's another art form. I'm lucky enough to know some brilliant artists. The girl who does my nails right now, her name is Micah, or Claws by Dior. She is turning 20 literally tomorrow.
Oh my
She's
20?
She's turning 20 tomorrow.
She's 19.
She's 19 years old.
What's her name? Micah.
Micah
Getting checks. Give it up for Micah.
What's her Instagram? Do you
Claws by Dior. Claws by Dior, like claws.
Claws by Dior.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did it take to do a set, like for her to do a set like that for you? How long does it normally take her?
It depends. So if she's doing like a fresh set from start, because I'm old school, it's acrylic.
Right.
They're not press-ons. If she's doing it from start to finish, it can take anywhere from 5 to 7 hours. If it's like a refill, it's like 3 to 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just sit.
They're beautiful.
She's really a genius. And I don't know, I think I'm so excited by how excited people are about them. Now they're like almost more famous than I am.
Well, I was going to say that I think, Cynthia, there's two parts now. There's what you're wearing, and then, okay, now the nails. Let's see the nails.
Yeah. And it's such a wonderful thing because it's something we've known for a long time.
For a long time, absolutely.
It's been a part of our history for a long time. We've seen FloJo run,
right?
Races with them, and it was like before it was the curve, and it's, I mean, even models have used to walk the runway with it, and now for it to sort of be able to come back and for it to be a part of popular culture is really fun. That we can still keep people, guessing, and people can enjoy them, and I can still do something that basically is a part of myself, and I haven't had to change it.
I hope you EP one of those nail shows or something, because Nail Lit was successful, and you should bring all the different designers who did your nails.
That's an amazing. Now,
I love that.
You get produce credit now.
I think it's producer
Let's go,
credit.
and then I share
Let's
with
do
Sway.
it.
You need it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's a real, but it's cool. It's such a cool that's a really great idea, just because there are so many brilliant artists who are like painting Sistine Chapels on people's nails and creating things that,
gosh.
I mean, it's insane. I've met some amazing artists in my time, and people don't realize just how hard they work and how brilliant they are. The molding that they do, creating flowers out of molding gel, like they just are brilliant. My mind is blown when I see the work that they do. So that actually is a beautiful day.
Let's go, Cynthia.
Let's go, Cynthia. Hey, by the way, I think the engineer has it queued up.
Oh, he's ready. We're never hear the end of it. Okay, let's go. Let's do the comparison again.
Let's hear it.
This is me defying gravity.
So that's actually amazing.
I started off a little rough, but you know.
But you're on the note.
Get me in the movie, Cynthia.
Let's go. I'm just like, I'm so because that's high.
Yeah, you know, I got hidden talents, but just not enough about
Cynthia,
me.
he failed
Enough
all
about
morning.
me.
I'm more impressed that he hit it right in front of you. Like that was the moment he feared, and so I said, "Well, I'm gonna ask her to ask. Don't do it, and you asked out of nowhere. That's why I was so excited, and then he freaking nailed it. No pun intended.
All right, cool. Tracy, I know you in New York. Jump in for me. Jump in before we start talking about the project.
What I'm appreciating about all of this, Cynthia, is from your nails to your work, it really is a testament that your creative expression is alive through both your doing and your being. You know, that's what I'm really feeling from this. You're so welcome. And I'm so excited for this project. I Forgive You coming out in June. Worst of Me is incredible. And when I think about You're So Welcome, I appreciate all forms of art. And when I think about music, I tend to see a mirror, you know. I feel like that's the cathartic experience for an artist, that they can use it to kind of excavate their own thoughts. And then when I think of theater and acting in general, it's like you get to disappear inside someone, and that's cathartic, and you gain lessons in that way. And so I'm curious for you, where does Cynthia's artistry, I guess, show up fully? On the mic, the most fully on the mic or on the screen? Where is vulnerability most comfortable for you?
Maybe it's behind the mic. It's like when I get to sing, I feel like it allows me to open up really, really fully. But there is something about being different characters that forces me to find things in myself that connect with whichever character I'm playing. I've never played a character that doesn't have a part of me in them. And so I guess it's about different parts of me being, and I love what you use to that art can excavate the of the person. It's a way to excavate what we're going through, and it can be a cathartic process. And I think that being characters can sometimes be really cathartic. Alphaba was cathartic for me because I was using a lot of what I had been through and channeling it through her. But with the music that I've made, there's no I guess the character can sometimes be the filter through which comes through things come through, but the music is there's no filter between me and the music. So I guess you get almost like a purer version of me when you hear me sing, because there's nothing between me and the song and the music.
That makes sense.
I think that's kind of what you're experiencing.
Do you feel like...
Wait, go ahead, Trace.
No problem. I'm hearing what you're sharing, and I love it. It's making me wonder now, do you feel like your experiences in acting have changed the way that you approach songwriting? Meaning, like, are you able to embody a lyric or build a narrative in a different way through the lens of an actress?
I think so. I think so, is because you have to learn. Sometimes when you're playing a character, you have to learn to say a million things with 2 words. And so what that's, I think, affected when it comes to writing for me is what is the most effective and simplest way to get to the heart of the matter without needing 10 words for a sentence. Maybe it's just 3 or 4. How do I say something clearly and meaningfully without using every word in the dictionary? And I think that's probably what it's affected for me songwriting wise. It means that I distill quicker you know. I think that's what being an actress has helped. And also, it's sort of some of the references in Worst of Me. There's a reference to Romeo and Juliet that obviously comes from, you know, knowing the play and understanding like a specific scene and knowing those lines. It is a curse on both your houses. That is the line in the play. But if I hadn't had the experience and read the play or known the play, then I wouldn't know that reference. It sometimes affects what you hear, what you see, the things you actually say and what you refer to. Yeah.
You also sing bruises only heal when you apply some love and tenderness.
Yeah.
You could cut me deeper than the ocean, but I refuse to drown. I'm coming up. I want to breathe again. Tell us about writing this song.
Yeah, it was. We didn't spend very long on it. It was myself, Jessica Gombar, and my producer Will Wells, and I just wanted to write something that had a little fight in it.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it was about speaking about experiences in a relationship that just doesn't work anymore. It's a relationship where you really do bring out the worst. It's like instead of not even bringing it out, it's what you're looking for, the worst in a person. And I had experienced that, and that's what I wanted to talk about, like being in something that just doesn't feel, you don't feel innately good anymore. It's like when we're fighting, I don't feel good about this. It doesn't feel like we're ever going to reach like an equilibrium. It's just, it all feels wrong. And I wanted to talk about what that feeling was. And I knew that this is also the moment where you have to decide to move on and leave. And so that moment of speaking about feeling like you're being cut like as deep as the ocean, but deciding I'm not gonna be pulled under anymore. I'm gonna get out of this. That's how it was to write. And we spent 4 or 5 hours writing it, and then it was sort of done. It sort of poured out of me. A lot of that. That's a lot of what happened.
Did you feel relieved after you wrote it?
Yeah. Well, I kept going back and adding like little things to the sound of it, even when we started doing the orchestrations for the strings. I remember saying I want it to sound fierce. I want it to sound like almost like an actual fight. So the strings are really, they're like vicious on it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you put to words a lot of things I felt in past relationships. So
Okay.
And then I felt in one relationship in particular that all we had left was the
fight.
It was the fight.
That's all you have left.
Yeah.
And it's like at that point, why are we doing it? And are we just comfortable in it? Is that that's all we expect?
That's all we can feel.
You know, that's all we can
the only
feel.
thing we could feel was
and
that.
sometimes you forget that isn't how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
But because you're so used to it, that maybe you start to think that that's the norm, and it's not at all.
The two covers I found for the singles, we got where you seem like you're in the nude, right? And you have these wings, and the Worst of Me, the wings are a different color than they are for Replay.
Yeah.
Right? And Replay, I believe the wings are black.
Yes.
And you're kind of hunched over, and it appears to be that you're in pain.
Yeah.
Right? And then for the Worst of Me, the wings are white, and you're standing tall.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about what was the concept behind that?
So because the album is called I Forgive You, I started doing research into like what the symbolism for forgiveness is. And I found that what kept coming up is the white dove with the olive branch, the white dove with the olive branch. And I kept looking to see if it would change, and it was always the white dove with the olive branch. So I thought, well, what are the birds that symbolize sort of like hurt, pain? And it's like either the crow, or it's like the magpie, so that usually the black wings. And then I thought, well, on the other side of it, what could that be? And I wanted to see if I could humanize the dove. So the white wings are sort of a sort of throwback to the dove itself. And on some of the imagery, you'll see me with the olive branch in my hand. I was just trying to create another symbol for forgiveness, essentially.
How important, and thank you for explaining that. And you look amazing on it, too. It sent me back to the gym. Well, not yet, but
I just looked at
yo, that's why I said I haven't looked at not
just
yet. It
looked
gave
at
me
him,
inspiration. But Even the title of the album, I Forgive You.
Yeah.
I forgive you can mean so many different things. You know, I had to say I forgive you to so many people, but it didn't count until I said it to myself.
Yourself. Yes.
Right?
That is the point. That's the point of it. I had searched for the title of this album for such a long time, and I had something else, and I was like, it's too much, and I'm trying too hard. What do I actually want to say? And then the phrase "I forgive you," I was like, oh, it's hard. It's very hard to say it. It's very hard to say it to yourself, and it's very hard to say it to other people. And I thought, well, what if this is a moment that I, one, can say it to other people and say it to myself, and then because that's what this is called, for those who are just a little too afraid to extend that to others, this is an excuse to just keep saying the words until you're ready to actually say them to someone.
I love it. Heather, if you want to say I forgive you to me for criticizing my singing, you can.
Oh, no, absolutely. You had one lucky shot. No, I'm not saying that. That is mine.
That was beautiful what Cynthia just
It
said.
was. I feel it, but not for now.
No.
Like, no, not for Sway right now, Cynthia. It's cool. But I love what she said because it brings me back. It makes so much sense because a lot of times, for spiritual purposes, doves and olive branches also represent a sign of peace.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think what happens with forgiveness, it also brings you peace. Inner peace first, and then peace possibly with whatever situation you had to have that bridge of forgiveness with. Right. And so I love that. I didn't, Sway picked it up so much sooner than what I did, but after you're breaking it down, it's so much more clearer to me, you know, and then with the songs as well. But I wanted to go back to something that you said about your music and your passion for it, and was wondering still if you ever get blown away, because Sway started this show with your clip from the Kennedy Center. And to his point, we whispered a couple of times to each other, like, why aren't these people moving in here? Like, who are these people? But you ended up with a standing ovation. It was the first one and maybe like one of the few of the night. Yeah. And to look up Cynthia and sing it, and the president of the United States, Joe Biden, was in office, and they're all standing up and clapping for you. Did something go back to your childhood? Did you have that moment? It was like, is this really happening to me right now?
I do get that very often. There are moments where it's just like, it's a strange thing when you're like in it, and then all of a sudden you're out and you're like, wait, what? How did that happen? Because there are so many things that I couldn't even have imagined would be happening. And so I keep having to, and I also want to be really present in those moments. I really want to still allow little Cynthia to be really excited by it all. I never want to lose the excitement over what is happening, because if I do, then what's the point? You know, that things can still surprise me, and things can still be really exciting, and things can still be new, and I can still achieve things that I never thought were possible. And I am so deeply grateful for the opportunities that have come, but I am blown away by a lot of it. This entire year blew me away. Wow. Like being able to sit here and finishing that album was a real moment of, oh my gosh, it's done. I did it. And then to be able to, like, sitting in the room with with the string orchestra, this is my album. They're playing my music. It's for my album. I'm in the middle of these brilliant players, and they're playing my music. Blown away. Standing on that stage singing to Dionne Warwick. Yes. Blown away. Yeah. Like I was listening to Dionne Warwick when I was 10 in the back of my mom's car. When she's taking me to school. Now I get to sing to her. It's insane. These things, I can't discount how amazing and unreal and surreal these things are. Because the second I start to think that it's just an everyday thing is the second I think it starts to all fall away. If I really do believe things are cyclical. If I keep putting gratitude into the universe, if I keep allowing myself to be amazed by it, then the universe will keep amazing me, and it will keep giving me things to be grateful for.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Get that round of applause.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
your month of June, you're going to be blown away
Thank you.
even more. Okay,
Yeah.
the album is released on June 6th, right?
Yes.
I Forgive You. And then you're headlining World Pride
Yes.
June 7th.
Wow.
Perfect
What does that mean
timing.
for you?
It's just, yeah, that set of days is again one of those moments like, oh my goodness, this is a big deal. It goes album on the 6th, World Pride the 7th, Tony's the 8th.
Sheesh.
You know, and it's almost, I want to say, by the time we get to the Tonys, it's almost 10 years since I was on Broadway doing The Color Purple. And I just, I don't even know if I have the words, but to be doing World Pride now, as feeling as much of myself as I possibly can feel, just feels really special.
Yeah.
It's a really special thing to be able to do that the day after I get to release my album, and then I get to go and sing some of it at World Pride on that massive stage with those people, with people who I care about, and then come back to my other family on Broadway and, you know, guide people through their night, watch people win their Tonys, be the person that, you know, helps people onto the stage as they get to pick up their award. It's celebrating other people who have been on the stage just like I was those years ago. This is a dream come true. Truly, all of those moments are dreams that I've had. So I can only be beyond grateful. Yeah. It's just so cool.
You're so cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's give her a round of applause. Cynthia Erivo is here. I want to thank you for coming through. I know I'm looking at your handlers, man. They're looking at the clock. But,
No.
you know, but I know you got a lot to do. But I want to tell you, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
you're good for you're great for the world.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Understand that. And when you hit that stage at World Pride, you're gonna reassure and give a lot of confirmation to a lot of people who be watching you all over the world. Who may have had it difficult,
Yeah.
but they see your victories and that become their victories. When you host that Tony Awards, those Broadway actors who may not have reached this kind of visibility and heights know that, hey, let's keep going.
Yeah.
You know, she's one of us.
Yeah.
You know, even you sing, what was that, Coachella? I think
That's
it
right,
was.
yeah.
Purple Rain. Was it
Yeah,
Purple Rain?
That's right.
You know, I love the way you hold yourself in the world. Continued success to
Thank
you.
you, thank
The
you.
songs are brilliant.
Can we get Cynthia to sing You Listening to Sway in the Morning right now on Shade 45?
You want me to ask her, or you just want to
Well,
ask her?
since you did a duet with her,
Okay,
you might
yes.
as well.
I don't know. I want to do it. Would you mind singing something?
What do you need me? Give me the
Okay,
lines.
Let me write them down.
Yeah,
Have her
write
tell
them
her.
down.
You should have
So-
wrote that down.
I'm working.
Okay, go ahead.
Cynthia, this is what I deal with a diva every day. It's impossible. All of the handlers, he's trying to figure out what side of the plane you got out on so he could be out on the same side as you the next time. It's a lot dealing with Sway. But every time we are blessed with the opportunity to have someone who does the same thing like you do on a high level, we ask them to do like a morning salute or morning wake up to the people listening to the show. So it's like, you're listening to Sway in the Morning on Shade 45. This is Cynthia Erivo. You can sing it.
Okay.
You can come up with something. You got bars, you spit, you rap?
No, I do sing though. I'll sing you a song, put you a song together right now.
She said no bars, Sway. So yeah,
you
something
got
simple,
bars.
and you'll hear it like pretty much. Well, now that you sang with Sway sang with you, you'll hear it every day. So yeah, we're gonna do it live right now.
Can you understand that? That's
That writing, that
I wrote in
Oakland-
graffiti.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Graffiti.
You're listening to Sway in the Morning with Heather B and Tracy G.
Okay. And just say your name. Say your name.
And this is Cynthia Erivo. Lots of love.
That's it. I'm good,
That
man.
one take.
We can end it right there. All right, cool.
Wow.
All right, great. Album out.
Wow.
June 6th.
What?
I
Oh, my
forgive
gosh.
you. All right. Thank you, Cynthia.
Yes.
We appreciate
Thank you,
Oh
thank
my
you.
God.
You'll come back and see us.
Every time, whenever you need me.
Okay.
I'll be
Thank
right
you.
here.
I appreciate.
Thank
I
you.
won't,
Thank you
I
for
won't
being
hound
so
you.
welcoming and lovely today.
We love you. We
did.
love you.
You
Aw,
earned
we
it and
do.
deserve it.
Yes.
Okay. Let's play the. What we gonna play? Replay. Let's do that. All right.